What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel and check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to speak on a post that I ran across. Isaiah Thomas. Let me see where it is. This post. Isaiah Thomas put Michael Jordan number 8, right? And I just, in my opinion, I just think that that's ridiculous. Um, and to me, it's just looking like Isaiah Thomas is still hasn't got over that beef that he been having with Michael Jordan for since since the 80s. Since the 80s. You talking about a 40, like 40 years of beef that Isaiah Thomas had with Michael Jordan. And it was basically, the beef started out basically, I think it was like during the All-Star game when Isaiah Thomas wanted to freeze Michael Jordan out at the All-Star game, right? And so Michael Jordan in that All-Star game, the NBA All-Star game, didn't really appreciate that. And so that carried over into when the Detroit Pistons played the Chicago Bulls and they were fouling Michael Jordan real hard, you know, and then here come the Olympics. And I think because of the relationship and the dislike, or the lack of relationship that Michael Jordan and Isaiah Thomas had, and the dislike that they had for each other, people had it rumored that Michael Jordan didn't want Isaiah Thomas to play in those Olympics with him. And I think that right there really hurt Isaiah, right? Because Isaiah realized that him not playing in that Olympics really it's like it cheated him, and it kind of like it didn't put a stain on his legacy, but it was just another it was something left off of his legacy that he could have been a part of that he wasn't a part of. And I think Michael Jordan leaving him off of that right there was like wow, that was like game set match. That was checkmate, whatever you know that was the nail in the coffin. That right there just really just to me, that really hurt Isaiah's legacy. And a lot of people, not just Isaiah Thomas, believe that Isaiah Thomas should have been on that dream team. Now, who they would have took off, I don't know. It don't matter. But Isaiah Thomas blames Michael Jordan for that. And I don't think Isaiah Thomas ever got over that. And so now, every opportunity Isaiah Thomas get to drag Michael Jordan's name, or to not just drag his name, but to like in these rankings and stuff like that, he take advantage of those opportunities. So this last post right here, like I said, he has Michael Jordan ranked number 8. And I'm gonna put up like, all right, so he has Michael Jordan behind first the number one, his top 10 right here. He got LeBron James at number 1, which I think is outrageous. Then he has Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at number 2, Magic Johnson at number 3, Larry Bird at number 4, Bill Russell number 5, Wilt Chamberlain is number 6, Shaquille O'Neal is number 7. He got Michael Jordan at number 8, Tim Duncan at 9, and then he got Kobe Bryant at 10, right? I think, in my opinion, I think even if you was to ask most of these players who's the GOAT, they would say Mike. But then you have somebody who is disgruntled, who is unhappy with Mike, saying that Mike is number 8. It's just so obvious that Isaiah Thomas, is still upset about what Mike did in those 84 Olympics by not allowing him to go. That really just cut him deep. That really did. It cut him deep. And so now Isaiah Thomas has taken this opportunity with this LeBron James regime, right? He got LeBron James ranked number one, all ahead of Mike, way ahead of Mike, according to him. And I think Isaiah Thomas is going to come up on the short end of this argument again, or against Mike. He going to lose again against Mike. As you all know, Michael Jordan is coming to NBC next fall, and he's going to, he's going to be talking basketball and he's going to do some commentating, right? And so I just think when Michael Jordan get to talking and people get to they get to hear like how the game was played, back in their day, and then they get to see like how the game should be played today and what's going to help sustain or grow the NBA. That's going to be a total contradiction to what LeBron James and that old, and the era that, like, the LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry era, like, that's going to be a total contradiction to what that era is. And so you have a new crop of young players coming in who are actually playing the way that Michael Jordan is saying that the game should be playing. More the people are more going to be more excited about the game, so viewership is going to go up. Um, Attendance is going to go up. Sponsors are going to be making more money, and it's so that's going to be he's going to. I think Isaiah is going to be on the wrong side of history because so many players are already coming out now because they don't like the style that LeBron James them play, and a lot of these players that are phasing out now, they just don't like that style. They don't play any defense. They soft, they flop, they complain. And so, but that's not what basketball was during Michael Jordan's era. And a lot of really good, great basketball players, and not just great basketball players, but people play in the league, they respect that more so than they do the cherry picking. So you have so many people coming out and speaking against LeBron James and his style of play. Uh, you know, him moving from team to team, him cherry picking, him flopping, and stuff like that. You know, and that's going to contradict Isaiah Thomas, and it's just going to make him look like he is like someone who is jealous of Michael Jordan, someone like a jilted, almost like a jilted lover. It's just not going to look good for Isaiah Thomas, and he put himself in a position where as though he's going to be on a losing side again, man. And I think personally, I think Michael Jordan takes things a lot more personally than he let people know. Like Michael Jordan has never he don't really participate in a GOAT argument. But I think part of the reason why Michael Jordan is coming back is so he can help set the record straight. And like I said, you have these young guys coming along. They're playing they're playing basketball the way you should be played. Like this guy Shea Gilchrist, they take care of the Timberwolves because Shea Gilchrist has his mid-range game is just tough. It's tough. That mid-range game, it just applies, it keeps the pressure on your opponent at all times, because if you can score from the mid, if you score almost every time down the court, whereas though somebody shooting threes, scoring like the high 30s or the 40%, if they on that day, they 40% down the court, that mid-range game can just keep you close, or it can gradually create separation between you and your opponents. And so that's the strategy in the game. Like it's that three-pointer. Anthony Edwards just basically against the OKC Thunder just really just shot his way out of the game, and they asked him, like, what do you say to people who thinks that you're shooting too much, too many threes? And he said, F them. Well, really, he effed himself right out of the playoffs. His game, no in between with Anthony Edwards' game. He either went all the way to the rim or he shot a 3-pointer, right? Not too much in the mid range. Whereas though Shea Alexander, he operated right around that free throw area, around that 15 feet, around 15 feet from the rim. And he, every once in a while he shot a three, but for the most part, he played that mid range game and he just got him out of there. And the same thing with the Indiana Pacers. So, and I brought those guys up because that style of basketball is more of a strategy. It's more strategic than what LeBron James play. Like LeBron James, either it's a 3-pointer or it's all the way to the rim, and that's not really basketball. It's you're leaving out some elements of basketball. That's part of the reason why James Harden, he looked so bad in the playoffs, and for Isaiah to back somebody who plays that style of basketball and promote and put them up as number one, I think Isaiah really doing himself a disservice, man. And he is really bitter when it comes to Michael Jordan. And it's obvious, it really is obvious. Anytime he has LeBron James number one, and the separation between LeBron James and Michael Jordan is like 5, 6 other players, that's just crazy. That is crazy. So LeBron James 1, Michael Jordan number 8. Yeah, I think once, like I said, it's just so much. It's so obvious that Michael Jordan is the GOAT, and but this guy just can't bring himself to he just can't bring himself to be honest about the situation or to grow up. He's still that same player. I don't know if you remember or not, but when he played with Detroit, Rick Mahorn, well, I should have had the video, but I think Rick Mahorn was playing with the Sixers or somebody. He's playing for a different team. And Rick Mahorn was holding the ball up and away from Isaiah Thomas and was kind of pushing Isaiah Thomas, holding him off. One pushing him, holding him off with one arm so Isaiah Thomas couldn't get the ball. And Isaiah Thomas caught, he caught an attitude like a kid and punched Rick Mahorn. And Rick Mahorn just looked at him and laughed. But that just goes to show Isaiah Thomas like his immaturity. And they try to chalk it up to competitiveness. But as a basketball player, I like him. But that wasn't competitiveness. That's just that's just, I don't know. And I don't think Isaiah Thomas really he's just gotten older, but he really hasn't changed, and he's carrying that baggage from when Michael Jordan, he wants to win against Michael Jordan. And the game, it's over with. Nothing Isaiah Thomas can do. He's not going to be able to win against Michael Jordan. And he keep trying with these desperate attempts to downgrade Mike, but he just make himself look bad. He need to really stay away from that Michael Jordan GOAT debate, because he make talking about Mike at all, because he just looked jealous and envious. He really do. And so that's my take on it. Make sure to like and subscribe. Also, don't forget to leave a comment. And with that being said, I'll check you all out in the next video. Peace.